So Colin Trevorrow is no longer directing episode 9. Shit, did he want to turn Princess Leia into a velociraptor or something? Well, hey there everybody, welcome back to Tom's Take. This is my movie channel where I talk about all things in the world of movies because that's what YouTube is good for. I can talk about whatever I like. So, today some news broke earlier that, well, it broke while I was asleep in bed because I've just returned from a holiday, that Colin Trevorrow, the director of Star Wars Episode 9, will no longer be directing Star Wars Episode 9. Now, this has been cooking for a while, I think, because ever since his last film, The Book of Henry, came out and it didn't get the critical response that maybe they were hoping for, people have been talking about it and saying, will he direct Episode 9? And we know that they've brought in, not too long ago, they brought in another writer to help fix up the script and things like that. And I always thought, no, they're not going to get rid of Colin Trevorrow. They'll keep him. They flew him in, to after Carrie Fisher died. They had to rework the script, obviously. But I didn't think they would get rid of him, and I didn't think they would part ways. Even if they didn't get rid of him, I didn't think he would leave. So now he's left, or they've gotten rid of him, or fired him, or whatever, however you want to look at it. So what are my thoughts on this? By the way, I'm going to leave the actual quote from Disney and Lucasfilm, which comes from The Hollywood Reporter, I think, or Deadline, or one of them, in the description below, so you can go and read it there. But I just wanted to get my personal thoughts on this out and throw some thoughts out there. So, first of all, Colin Trevorrow, I don't think is a bad director, okay? I don't. Jurassic World, yes, he did Jurassic World. Yes, there was maybe not a lot of deep character stuff, but how much deep character stuff did you need in a Jurassic Park movie, okay? And listening to him in interviews and things like that, I was really getting on board with Colin Trevorrow directing Episode 9. I like that they've been changing up the directors each movie, and I like that, but let's look at it this way. Lucasfilm has been having a lot of problems with their directors. They're just not being able to get on the same page with them. You had Gareth Edwards and Lucasfilm butted heads a bit on Rogue One. Luckily, Gareth Edwards, I think, played ball and was a bit more of a team player, as opposed to Lord and Miller, who basically hijacked the movie 80% of the way through production and tried to do their own thing, and Lucasfilm had to get rid of them. And so now we're hearing that, Colin Trevorrow's left because they were having creative differences. And look, to me, yes, you should get on the same page with your directors before you sign them on. But I do think this is a little bit of a different situation, okay? First of all, you have the Carrie Fisher situation. Carrie Fisher, she passed away and they had to rework majorly the script for Episode 9 because she was supposed to have a big role in that movie. So maybe it's got something to do with that. Maybe they couldn't get on the same page about how to handle the Princess Leia character. Maybe that's it. Or maybe something else happened behind the scenes and they're just using the words creative differences as an easy way, and as a peaceful excuse to say that someone left the project, because we hear that a lot, that it's creative differences, and then in some cases you find out that, oh, actually this person and this person were getting on a punch-up on set, or something like that. I don't know, I'm just making shit up at this point. Look, for me, this whole situation here calls into question something a bit bigger than just, well, okay, maybe they're not picking the right directors for the job. To me, this calls Kathy Kennedy's leadership of Lucasfilm into question. Because, look, we heard little rumblings that even on The Force Awakens set, J.J. Abrams had a bit of trouble getting his ideas into the movie. They butted heads a little bit, but luckily they worked it out. And we know Rogue One, they again had some major problems. And I don't know if those problems were with Gareth Edwards himself, but definitely some production issues. Star Wars, the most recent Disney Star Wars movies have all seemed, except for Episode 8, to have some sort of production issue, director issue. So to me, I'm wondering, does this call into question Kathy Kennedy's leadership of Lucasfilm? And does she have the ability that I know she does? She's one of the best producers in Hollywood. Just look at her body of work. But how many directors do you need to have problems with? How many of your movies do you need to have massive production issues with before your leadership is called into question? So that's just my thoughts on the issue, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment below, leave a like, tell me your thoughts on Colin Trevorrow leaving episode 9. Did you want to see him direct episode 9? Are you happy that he's leaving? For me, I do think this is going to happen. I do think Rian Johnson, the director of episode 8, is going to come in and direct episode 9 because he seems to be the only director we haven't heard any issues with between him and Lucasfilm. And I happen to think he's going to be the one to step in. But obviously my number one choice to direct a Star Wars movie is Steven Spielberg. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. I will talk to you guys next time.